Welcome to Legion Builds, where I guide you on how to bring your favorite fictional characters into Dungeons & Dragons. This video and all my content is made possible by my Patreon supporters, and it's dedicated to everyone who subscribes to my channel. You're all the reasons why this keeps going. Join the Legion today at patreon.com/63rdlegion for free and help decide next week's new character. Joining my paid tiers allows you early access to my content, a shout out in my videos, homebrew D&D items for your games, and a chance to play some D&D in the Patreon community. We now have a Discord. It's just getting started, but we have some future plans coming, like events for Discord members and Patreon members. Today, we're taking on another enemy of G.I. Joe, the mysterious Zartan. Zartan is a man whose only real loyalty is to himself. If the money's good, then he's ready to fight. The leader of a mercenary group who specializes in chaos, the Dreadnoughts, Zartan and his group often align themselves with the evil organization Cobra, though he will turn on them the second he feels they've served their purpose. Zartan is the ultimate master of disguise and infiltration. He can mimic voices and faces perfectly and can be embedded into an identity for months before he's ready to attack. Over the years, he's received help in these missions with advanced holographic devices, state-of-the-art prosthetics, and eventually was genetically modified. These modifications were aimed to help his stealth capabilities, granting him the ability to blend into his surroundings, but eventually led him to become sensitive to sunlight and cause his skin to turn blue. In other Joe continuities, he can even shapeshift into other people. In battle, Zartan is a master of ranged weapons, including bows and sniper rifles, but he does in fact use bladed weapons when he's up close and personal. He's also a master of many skills to help him blend into his identities that include making weapons and other devices. For today's build, we'll be using the Player's Handbook. We're using standard point array to keep things simple, and we are multi-classing, so watch those minimums if you use another system. Make Charisma 15, Dex 14, Wisdom 13, Con 12, Intelligence 10, and we're going to be dumping Strength with an 8. I don't want to do that, but standard point array demands I sacrifice something. And in all honesty, Strength can be dumped and will not affect the build. Zartan is a human. Resourceful gives you a free inspiration dice at the end of a long rest if you don't already have one. Skillful gives you a free skill, take Deception. Versatile grants you a free origin feat. For this feat, Savage Attacker lets you roll 2 sets of weapon damage dice and choose which rolls you use once per turn. To finish out your lineage, you know the language Common and 2 more of your choice. For background, place +2 into Dex and +1 into Wisdom. For your origin feat, Skilled gives you 3 proficiencies in skills or tools. You're going to be getting a lot of skills in this build, so let's grab some tools to help you blend into your identities. Take Smith's Tools, Tinkerer's Tools, and Forgery Kit. For skills, take Intimidation and Performance. To finish out your background, take Alchemist Supplies to help create more gear. Level 1 rogues start off with 4 skills. Take Sleight of Hand, Stealth, Acrobatics, and Persuasion. You are proficient in Light Armor, Simple Weapons, Martial Weapons with the Light or Finesse properties, Thieves' Tools, and the Saving Throws, Dex, and Intelligence. Expertise doubles your proficiency bonus to 2 skills. Place this into Deception and Performance to better hide yourself. Sneak Attack is bonus damage you can add once per turn when you attack with a ranged or finesse weapon and have advantage on the attack or an ally is within 5 feet of your target. This starts off as 1d6 but will get better. Weapon Mastery grants you access to special properties of your weapons. When you finish a long rest, you choose 2 weapons you're proficient with, and now you have access to those weapons mastery properties until you finish another long rest. 4 weapon masteries you'll see. Short bows, short swords, and rapiers give you Vex. You have advantage on your next attack roll against a creature you've hit with this weapon. Daggers give you Nick, which means you can attack with 2 daggers you're wielding with a single attack action, freeing up your bonus action. Level 1 Rangers begin with bonus proficiencies when you multi-class into them. You are now proficient in all weapons, medium armor, shields, and the skill Investigation. Spellcasting gives you spells. Wisdom is your spellcasting modifier. You regain used spell slots at the end of a long rest, and you're starting with 2 first level spells. Before we get to your magic, favorite enemy gives you a free spell with Hunter's Mark. This is a bonus action that you can mark a creature within 90 feet of you, and whenever you hit with an attack, you will deal an extra 1d6 force damage on top of the normal damage for 1 hour while you maintain the spell. You also will have advantage on perception and survival checks to find them. If the marked creature creature dies before the spell ends, you can move the mark to another creature within 90 feet with a bonus action. Because you got this for free, you can cast it without a spell slot twice per long rest. Weapon mastery is the same, but now you have more weapon choices. For more weapon masteries, longbow gives you slow. This slows down a creature you hit with this weapon by 10 feet. For your spells, Hail of Thorns is a bonus action you take when you hit a creature with a ranged weapon attack. This causes the ranged weapon attack to explode into a rain of shrapnel. Each creature within 5 feet of the original target, including the original target, must make a dex save or take 1d10 piercing damage on a failure. Longstrider adds 10 feet to your total movement for 1 hour. Level 2 Rangers gain Deft Explorer. You get 2 more languages of your choice and 1 more expertise in a single skill. Place this into Stealth. Fighting Style gives you a Fighting Style feat. For this feat, I'm going to go with some long range capabilities with Archery. This adds +2 to your ranged attack rolls. You can change this out for whatever you want if you want to handle Zartan a bit differently. For your new spell, Ensnaring Strike is a bonus action you take after hitting a target with a weapon attack. This causes a net to trap the target, forcing a strength save. If they fail, they are restrained for 1 minute while you maintain the spell. While restrained, the creature takes 1d6 piercing damage as the net cuts into them at the start of each of their turns. To end this spell, the creature or someone within reach must use their action to make an athletics check against your spell DC. Level 3 Rangers now have access to their subclass. Gloomstalker from the Player's Handbook is going to give you some genetic manipulation and some more tech. Umbral Sight gives you dark vision that lets you see in darkness out to 60 feet. You can also blend into the darkness. While within darkness, you are invisible to creatures that use dark vision to see in darkness. Dread Ambusher increases your speed by 10 feet the first turn of combat and then lets you add your wisdom modifier to the initiative rolls. Also, you can add more damage to your attacks. Now, once per turn, you can add 2d6 psychic damage to your weapon attacks. You can do this a number of times equal to your wisdom modifier per long rest. Gloomstalker spells will give you more spells in certain levels of Ranger. For your Gloom spell, Disguise Self cloaks you in a hologram and makes you look like anyone you want for 1 hour. This cannot add limbs, but you can make yourself appear 1 foot shorter or taller. This is an illusion and can fail inspection, so don't give them a reason to suspect. For your new spell, Take What You Want, we only need 1 more spell and we'll get that in a couple levels. Level 4 Rangers earn our first ability score improvement. Let's grab a very needed feat. Actor from the Player's Handbook is on every Master of Disguise want list. First, it adds +1 to your charisma. You now have advantage on any deception or performance check you make to pass yourself off as someone else, even if it is a fake person you've cooked up. You can also now mimic any sound created by another creature, including someone's voice. The DC to figure out this lie is based on your charisma modifier. For your new spell, once more, Take What You Want. You've hit character level 5, bring your proficiency bonus to +3. Level 5 Rangers, learn Extra Attack. You can now attack twice with a single attack action. You can now also cast Hunter's Mark 3 times without a spell slot. You also learn second level spells. For your Gloom spell, Rope Trick creates a 3x5 invisible room at the end of a levitating rope. You can climb inside the room, pull the rope in, and now you are hidden for 1 hour. You can see what's going on outside, but no one can see inside. For your final Ranger spell, Pass Without a Trace adds +10 to your stealth checks for 1 hour while you maintain this spell. You can also pass this bonus on to each ally within 30 feet while they stay within 30 feet. Level 2 Rogues receive Cunning Action. Hide, Disengage, and Dash are bonus actions to you. Level 3 Rogues now have access to their subclass. Assassin from the Player's Handbook is a perfect pair with Gloomstalker. Assassin's tools give you proficiency in Poisoner's Kit and Disguise Kit, which is good because you may want to save your spell slots. Assassinate gives you advantage on your initiative rolls. Also, during the first round of combat, you have advantage on attack rolls against the target that hasn't taken its turn in combat yet. If your sneak attack hits during that round, it will deal an extra damage equal to your rogue level. Steady Aim is perfect for long-ranged attacks. Now on a turn you haven't moved, you can use your bonus action to give yourself advantage on your next attack that turn, but you reduce your speed to 0 until the end of the turn if you do this. Your sneak attack is now 2d6 extra damage. Level 4 Rogues earn another ability score improvement. Place this into Charisma for better impersonations. Your character level 9, bring your proficiency bonus to +4. Level 5 rogues gain Uncanny Dodge. Now when you take damage from an attack you can see, you can use your reaction to have the damage. Cunning Strike adds effects to your sneak attacks by sacrificing damage from the sneak attack. For those effects, Trip costs 1d6 and after you deal damage you force a strength save, with the DC based on your dex. If they fail, they fall prone as long as they are a category large or smaller. Withdrawal costs 1d6 and after you deal damage you can move half your speed without provoking an attack of opportunity, freeing up your bonus action once more. Poison costs 1d6 and if you have the Poisoner's Kit on you, you force a con save after you deal damage. If they fail, they gain the poison condition for 1 minute. At the end of each of their turns, they may retake the save and end the condition. If they pass the save, a poison creature has disadvantage on all attack rolls and skill checks. Your sneak attack is now 3d6 extra damage. Level 6 rogues learn our final 2 expertise. Place this into persuasion and intimidation. Level 7 rogues now have reliable talent. Now any tool or skill you have proficiency in can never be lower than 10 on the D20 test. Evasion improves your dex saves. Now when you succeed a dex save, you take no damage and half on a failure. Your sneak attack is now 4d6 extra damage. Level 8 rogues earn another ability score improvement. Let's raise dex for better damage, attack, and stealth. Your character level 13, bring your proficiency bonus to +5. Level 9 assassin rogues receive infiltration expertise. You can now not only mimic someone else's speech, but also their handwriting if you spend 1 hour studying them. Also, steady aim no longer reduces your speed to 0. Your sneak attack is now 5d6 extra damage. Level 10 rogues earn another ability score improvement, cap off charisma. Level 11 rogues get improved Cunning Strike. You can now add 2 Cunning Strike effects to your sneak attack but must pay the cost for both. Your sneak attack is now 6d6 extra damage. Level 12 rogues earn our final ability score improvement, cap off dex. You've hit the final milestone, character level 17, max out your proficiency bonus at +6. Level 13 assassin rogues learn envenom weapons. Now when you use the Cunning Strike poison, you will deal an extra 2d6 poison damage when the target fails the saving throw, and this ignores resistance to poison damage. Your sneak attack is now 7d6 extra damage. Level 14 rogues gain Devious Strikes. You learn 3 new Cunning Strikes. For these Cunning Strikes, days cost 2d6 and after you damage them you force a con save. If they fail, they can now only do one of the following things their next turn: move, take an action, or take a bonus action. Obscure costs 3d6 and after you deal damage, you force a dex save. If they fail, they are blinded until the end of its next turn. Knockout costs 6d6 and after taking damage, you force a con save. If they fail, they are unconscious for 1 hour or until they take damage. At the end of each of their turns, they may retake the save to wake up. Our final level is level 15 rogue and you have Slippery Mind. You are now proficient in charisma and wisdom saves. Your sneak attack is now maxed out at 8d6 extra damage. Now that we've hit level 20, let's recap. Your stats are Strength 8, Dex 20, Con 12, Intelligence 10, Wisdom 14, Charisma 20. Your total class levels are Rogue 12, Ranger 5. Let's dive in. You are a master of disguise. You can make yourself look like anyone and sound perfectly like them. Your performance and deception checks to impersonate someone are at advantage and can never be lower than 27 on the D20 test. Hell, you can even forge their signature. For your infiltration skills, that's where things get even crazier, as your stealth can never be lower than 37 on the D20 test. And if you're in darkness, that is at advantage. You're also a jack of all trades with proficiency in 7 tool sets and 8 skills, all of which can never be lower than 10 on the D20 roll. These tools let you do things like make poisons, weapons, chemicals, and different items, as well as creating disguises, forging documents, and breaking into locked areas. Finally, you're just deadly. Using a longbow or rapier, you're dealing 1d8 plus 8d6 with a sneak attack. You can add plus 15. If that's the first round of combat, you can add 1d6 force damage and can add 2d6 psychic damage. You can also add effects like slow them down, knock them down, poison them, which adds 2d6 poison damage, run away, knock them out, or give yourself advantage on attacks. Downside. Firstly, you're a weakling. We had to sacrifice strength to standard point array. If you're not worried about having 2 attacks and second level spells, drop 1 level in ranger and get another ability score improvement from rogue. You can also switch out strength and intelligence, but I place that there because a good impersonator needs to study their target. You also have limited resources with 6 spell slots, only 4 of which can be used for your disguised self. You can also use second level spell slots, but you won't gain any extra benefits from upcasting this. In all honesty, that's not too bad. You can craft disguises pretty easily, and if you're already close to the target, you won't need Pass Without a Trace, so that frees up spell slots. That being said, if you want to add an extra d6 of force damage, that requires a spell. If you want to add psychic damage, you can only use that 2 times per long rest because of your low wisdom score. So yeah, you're still going to have resource management, but I don't think it's that bad. Become the perfect duplicate and manipulate your way to where you need to be to bring the mission to a close. I'd like to give a special shout out to my Artificer tier. Thank you, John Martin, Christopher R. Hunter, Java Squirrel, Jonathan Haynes, and Daniel Saftler. You guys rock. Make sure to like and subscribe to not miss a single new build each week on YouTube and Spotify. And make sure to check out my Patreon where you can help decide next week's new character.